Hello everyone, it's 9:30. Just before I come on tonight, I was just checking all my stuff, and about 9:15, my mouse decided to tell me on my computer it's low on power. So please forgive me if for some reason we go short tonight, but it shouldn't happen because it's all professional. Anyway, another sunny week here in sunny Spain. But I can safely say the temperature is dropping this week. I think the past 2 days, especially in the mornings and evenings, it is getting cold. I can see the heating going on, but I'm not at the moment. I've still got my shorts on. Anyway, tonight's questions, and they are table tennis, riveting, non-resident tax, my new gimbal. Just remembered that. The lucrative visa, the house price drop, COVID infections in Spain, UK disabled sign, Apple Pay in Spain, and petrol and diesel in Spain, pretty important thing, and the Spanish bank charges. Hopefully I can get through all those tonight, but that's what's happening. Anyway, as always, I've got to thank my great friends Lobster for promoting me, and as always, I have to promote them. No, they got a good deal. Only with me, guys. I mean, it's up to you. You know, I'm not going to force you to do it, but if you check out Lobster, and anyway, if you phone this number, which is 711-000-711. They'll ask you for the promotion code. If you say Expat and Mazarron, they'll send you a free SIM card, and the first month will be free, depending on whatever package you take out. I know you can't see the deal there, but it's just say if you wanted a small one, a small deal, which would say it's only which is 12 gig, and it's €12 for that month, and actually including the tax. And don't forget, you're not contracted to it, so if you don't enjoy, I mean, I've been with them now about 3 months now. I'm really loving it because I'm going out doing live broadcasts and finding more places now because I'm online. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. But anyway, it's up to you, because don't forget, next year most of the mobile sites, especially if you going back to the UK, they'll be start charging you what do you call it now, rolling charges, something like that. Anyway, that's the Lobster out of the way. Currencies direct. Oh, there you are. Lobster, the full English mobile. I always keep forgetting to whack this up because I know not everybody's got good eyesight. Currencies direct. Now, this is another one. If you mention currencies direct and say Expat Management, I get a small fee. But the reason why I'm plugging it is because on campus, so they actually got an office. I'm not that savvy with internet and things like that. You can go into the office, especially if you're buying a property for the first time and you're sending big amounts of money through. Yeah, currencies direct, and it just makes you feel a little bit more secure. The coffee fund. Now, the coffee fund obviously helps me out with my travel expenses and accessories. I'm talking about cameras and things like that. But I got to most appreciate people that pay into the coffee fund. And I got to thank Trixie. A message she put up on my PayPal was thanks for all the info you give us. We saw a video of a 4-bedroom that we would love to move into right now, if only we were a little bit closer to our retirement. Well, I can safely say I've been thinking about moving to Spain for about 10 years, and I can assure you, time does fly. I prove it because I'm here. On the fact, Martin, he's a top man. Now, he didn't say anything other than he put up some, what do you call them now? Those, you know, those emo things, which is, he did a coffee, beers, thumbs up, a smiley. So, top man. Well, and what have I, oh yeah. That's the reason. I just seen a little sign there. It says logo, and I haven't got it on there. Anyway, just in case you didn't know, Don't forget, guys, I've got a Facebook group. You're most welcome to join it. There's only 2 questions you've got to ask to join it because it's a private group. Pretty simple. It's all free, and it shows you what's going on at the moment, what I'm doing around Camp de Sal when I'm out exploring, things like that. Now, if you want to check out my Instagram account, that's free as well. And what I do on the Instagram account is, I think it's called stories. Every day I put up really about what the weather's like here, just to make sure. I've just had a quick look at some of the posts, and it was raining in the UK, all a bit misty, it was a bit cold. So I'm just putting those up as well. And not forgetting TikTok. I'm still not into the TikTok yet, but I do put up posts when I can. But yeah, to TikTok. What else have I got? Oh yeah. Now last week it was a complete pants last week. I'll try to. Somebody asked, give me a question. So I'm just looking for it at the moment now. I'm going to find it for you. Okay, here it is. I've got it. It's coming up. Okay. Now last week somebody asked me about these. I think I made this video back in 2006. And one of the things I didn't even know was quite dangerous, especially for dogs.
Just having a break. Places that me and Bonnie have a rest at on our walk.
There's
something to be aware of when walking around in the south of Spain.
So don't all disappear.
There's a little caterpillar, a little hairy caterpillar called the procession caterpillar.
Oh, yeah, processionary caterpillar.
What it is a caterpillar that follows its mate in front. So you have this massive long. I mean, I videoed one the other day. Must have been about over 12 feet long, and they follow head to tail. Anyway, these caterpillars, to dogs especially, can be a killer. Something to be aware of. I'll give you a bit of gumph at the bottom here about what time of year. It's usually the beginning of the year anyway. I think this hot weather brings them out more. And what it is when the dog comes up and either sniffs them or where they've been walking, if these hair particles are falling off, where the dog sniffs it up into their nose, it swells up their tongue and can kill them. So if it's not acted quickly, the vets can't save the dog. So something to be aware of when walking about. You see these caterpillars mainly wherever there's a fir tree, and when you're walking about, if you look up in the fir tree and you see like a white cotton ball in the tree, that's where they're breeding at the moment. You know, that's where they're going to be hatched. And they come down the tree and go off wherever they go. I don't know where they go. I don't know how long they last for. What you're not allowed to do, well, not what you're supposed to do, is stamp on them, because then you've got the particles on under your foot. You then bring it in the house, and you know what dogs are like? They're forever licking. And the only way that you can eradicate these things is by burning them, setting them alight. When we go up into the Sierra Espuna, which is a national park, it's just covered in fir trees, and you see these black bags hanging down from the trees. It's to entice the caterpillars into the bag, and as they fall in, there's a chemical at the bottom that obviously destroys them. So something to be aware of when walking about, even on where we live. We've got a park there. That's where I've seen most of them, to be honest. So it's not only would you see them walking about, you know, out in the open here, but you would also see them in built-up areas. So something to be careful of. Don't pick them up, like we always do, because we're a bit inquisitive. So something to be aware of. And but the main thing is, enjoy Spain. It's lovely.
Anyway, just in case you're thinking, hang on a minute, he's trying to say, make sure your dog's safe. And there's my dog running around. And if you notice, there's no trees around there, so Bonnie was completely safe. But I think from now onwards, especially as the climate's still a little bit warm. I mean, this week it's dropped a bit, but last week it was nearly up in the 30s still. But this week it has dropped below 20. But you will start to see these appearing in especially pine trees. It's like a ball of wool or something, and the little buggies, the caterpillars are in there. And obviously, once they're hatched, and it'll go from probably, I think Mike and Yvonne was telling us last week that they seen one or seen a couple. So they are about. So just be aware, especially when you're walking through forestry areas. And on campus now, we got some of the garden areas got pine trees, but thankfully they get reported to the council, and the council deal with it straight away. But just to make that aware, and I tried to put that up last week, and I had so much problems. I thought I'll put it up now, and it's out of the way now. Hopefully that's Ryan Pitt. I've got 63 in the house, which is good. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put in the intro, and then we get on with tonight's questions. I'm just making sure I put the right one on. Okay, back now. So it's 22 now. Just before I get into the questions, I always do a little bit of info what's going on in Spain at the moment. Last week, end of the month, obviously we had Halloween, the 31st. Now the day after in Spain, it's a Day of the Dead. And I'll just pick this up from the because obviously the Day of the Dead is really more to do with Mexico, where the Mexican people have a whole week of celebrating it. But on Monday, it was a national day. So I'm just going to read it off here. October was a Halloween, which the Spanish do celebrate here, while on the 1st of November was a national holiday. It was All Saints Day. It wasn't called the Day of the Dead, but they call it All Saints Day. But some do celebrate the Day of the Dead, where families go to the local grave. I won't call it graveyards. They're like buildings. And they put loads, they clean up the graves, like the boxes and whatever they call them. They got plaques and that. And they put fresh flowers there. But the Day of the Dead really is more Mexican. But I just thought I'd just put that across. Camp de Sol. Now on Camp de Sol, I don't know if anybody who's living on Camp de Sol or they come over on holiday, if they know the diner, which is a bar and restaurant, it's closing as from this Sunday. It's on B. It's been there for quite a few years. Sue that runs it does a lot of charity work as well, but unfortunately with the COVID thing and with the drop of tourism and that in the area, it has affected the bar. And to be quite honest, there's quite a few other places on Camp de Sol that are up for sale. They're not in that same boat at the moment. So bit of a shame, really. So I just thought I'd put it out there just in case, because obviously a lot of people like going to their special bars and restaurants. But the diner will be closing as from this Sunday. So into the questions. I'm just having a quick look at the comments. I got DK saying it's buffering, but I'll probably find out it's your internet. Let's have a quick flick through here before I start to get into them, just in case I miss anything. I'll be coming a bit early. Obviously, been out drinking. We got Skillet in the house. We got loads of people saying hello, saying it's lovely and warm in the UK. Sean from got a question in already for next week. Bonus notches. There's John. Bonus TARDIS. Here we go. Bruce is asking you can answer our question about which I can. Oh, the resident tax. Yeah, we'll get on to that. Don't worry, Bruce. We're getting on to it. If you answered that question, I think you did. Yes, you did. Okay, how we doing? How we doing? Nurse Jim. Hey, seeing you. So you're back now, back into sunny Wales then. Good. Lovely to see you both. We've got the Netherlands in tonight. Good. We got Andy in. Well, that's it. Emojis. What a weird name, isn't it? So we've got lots of people in tonight, which is good to see. Anyway, we're back in the house. Okay. Questions. So the first question is from David. I'm buying in Campersale next month. Is there anywhere I can play table tennis? Now, I'll be honest, Dave. Tennis, I could have said yeah, because we've got a tennis courts on Campersale down the road at the Ariano's. That's it. They got tennis courts. I think it costs like €3 for a game. I don't know whatever how long that is, probably an hour or so. But table tennis. So I had to put that out on the Facebook group asking about that because I don't know. I can't think of any of the bars. I know they got like snooker tables and things like that and billiards, but table tennis, no. But I did get a reply back. If you go up the road to, when you come over here, up the road to the Condado, which is the golf resort, at the Condado Club, which is sort of not, it's not in the main part of Condado. You've got to go around to where all the apartments are. What they call it, the gardens. In there, you got squash courts and tennis courts. But you've got the Condado Club, and on a Thursday evening, they play table tennis. So, Dave, if you're watching tonight, I haven't seen anything up with Dave on here yet. But anyway, that's good. Question 2, which is Bruce and Alison. Not giving really help for you on here, really, Bruce and Alison. Anyway, having trouble trying to download a form for paying our non-resident tax. Any ideas? And what? The only thing, I mean, I got an accountant. I'm not that rich, but I've got an accountant because I'll be honest, the tax, I don't understand it. So we deal with an accountant just down the road in the port that deals with all our tax things. But for non-resident, you can do it online. But what I did see was I found several online sites that actually deal with that. And it's a Modella 210. That's the form. I don't know if that's right. I mean, anybody that's a non-resident tax person, have Mike and Yvonne are watching. Maybe they could help me on this one. And it costs about €35. And I know, guys, when we first did our non-resident tax, we've been here over a year. We had to pay it. We weren't sure how to do it, so we let our solicitors deal with it. Biggest mistake in our lives. We thought, well, they can do it because they know what they're doing. I didn't realise the cost, the charges that they put on it. I think it cost us like €60 each for the non-resident tax, which, that's not bad. Except the administration charges were near on €200 each, which I thought was a massive rip-off, but we didn't know. So yeah, if you're, I'm just reading there a bit. Go online. Now, you did say you're having problems trying to download any of that, but it does seem like several companies do deal with that. So hopefully that's some help, Bruce and Alison. No doubt, hopefully somebody in the comments can give you a bit more info. Now, I can't really, I did a bit of checking, and all I kept coming up with was several online sites that deal with non-resident tax. It does seem to be a simple procedure. You only pay the charge once it's been accepted as well. So that's obviously something to be aware of as well. So question 2 out the way. I've got my little forms here. Question 3. How's the new gimbal performing? That's from Aid. Now, I just read that just before I started the show, and I thought, oh no, I ain't got it ready yet. He's talking about this machine here. This is the new DJI gimbal gizmo thingy. I'll just turn it on a minute. So just to show you it works. So that's the portrait mode, and if I press this button officially twice, it turns landscape. So yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I can, you know, jiggle up and down. This is the main reason I bought it, really, because when I was holding the phone, because I'm an old bloke, it's doing this all the time. But with the gimbal, this is the new DJI gimbal thing. I think it's called the Almost 5. I don't want to say it is that. To be quite honest, there's nothing on here to say what it is, other than it's a DJI product. But anyway, Aid, it does work. You know, look, you know, see, look, the magic of technology. Yeah, see, it's good, isn't it? So I'm just turning that around now. So anyway, just giving a demonstration and not wasting any time, because we've got 61 in the house. So I must say, well done, everybody, but hanging on. Anyway, turn that off in a moment. Okay, I can take the phone off. See, it's all magic, isn't it, this stuff? So, question 4, with a spider running up my sheet there. This is from Cheryl. Cheryl's on tonight, I believe. No, she's not. No, I'm getting her mixed up with Sandra. Where's the dead cat? Now, there's no dead cat. I know what she's on about. Anyway, going back to that gimbal thing. I was having some problems, obviously, when I'm outside using the gimbal thing, doing a live broadcast. Obviously, when it's windy, it affects the phone. So I bought a connector, which is over there. I'm not going to get it. And it just went nuts. For some reason, my live broadcasting just went pants. Now, if you noticed also last week, I tried to do Cheryl's in the house. Well done. I noticed last week. Oh yeah, I tried the drone, because my latest drone, you can actually do a live broadcast from your drone. So I'm flying the drone. I can talk to you while I'm flying the drone. Unfortunately, anything it couldn't do, it couldn't tell me who was watching me. Was it working? Because I can see here. It's all here. Aid's just coming as well. What, top man? It was all. Yogi's asking me how much it cost. I can't remember it. I can't remember, Yogi. It's not cheap. I think it's about 120. Might be wrong. 120 euros. I don't know. Right. Yeah. Anyway, the drone live broadcast, it worked, except my voice was really echoey, I suppose. And it sounds like it's a software problem, because it sounds like if I was using an Android phone, the voice, the sounding was a lot better. And I've over the past year, I've changed from all my Android stuff. I mean, over the years, I used to have a PC. I was having so much problems with Windows. I've been converted. I'm an Apple man now. Everything's Apple, but it does come with problems, unfortunately. So anyway, I'm going back to Cheryl, which is question 4. Can you still work while you're applying for your non-lucrative visa? And when you got your visa, finish your work? Good question, that, because officially, obviously, the non-lucrative visa, you can come over to Spain. It's really, they call it the retirement visa. You can come over to Spain, but you can't work. And I'm obviously, I think what Cheryl was saying, she's obviously working at the moment. She's applying for a visa. All I can say on that is, Cheryl, I'm not a legal person, and to be honest, not the sort of person you want to ask that sort of thing, really, because it's pretty important, really. and the best advice I can say is obviously when you're applying for it at the consulate or the embassy, which is in the UK, they can tell you straight away. Well, obviously, the last thing you want to do is drop yourself in it, I suppose. So I would have thought you can. Obviously, I don't know the circumstances. If you're working here still, and somehow you're going back to the UK applying for your non-lucrative visa, because it is quite complicated, isn't it? I met a couple this week that just moved there. They've only been here a week on campus, so they did say the non-lucrative visa 3-month thing was right on the limit. They were getting a bit worried about not going to make it on time because you got 3 months or something to do it all in. If you don't, you lose your money. But anyway, they said once everything was in motion, it all went well. But I can't really answer that one, Cheryl. I would think personally you could, but I don't want to get you in trouble. So I would ask somebody who's might be worth trying. These Spanish citizen, oh God, I've been saying it for months, haven't I? The Spanish Citizens Voice site, which is on the internet. They do answer some questions, and they would probably give you a better reply to that than me, unless somebody else on there. I've been seeing something about voluntary work. I mean, voluntary work's totally different. I mean, there's lots of voluntary work here on campus, so especially if you want to work for MABS or work for FAST Group or doing a bit of gardening, because you're not receiving no money, there's no problem with that. But actually working and earning income, that's a no-no. But hasn't really answered your question, really, Cheryl, is it? But hopefully somebody else who's maybe in the same situation can help you out on that. So I can see Sandra's put on there, you can work in the UK if your employer puts your end of date in the writing. So there you are, Cheryl. Sandra's sort of answered that question for you. Femi, oh no, it's not Femi, it's a Facebook user. That's anything, any Facebook user that is on making a comment tonight. It doesn't say who you are, but I got a feeling it could be Femi. So he's the top man if it is. So anyway, we're moving on to question 5. Can't even pronounce this name. Wiesa. Now that could be a made-up name, or it could be somebody's name that I can't pronounce. Anyway, he's asking, do you see house prices dropping since the 90-day rule? Not really. In some places around Spain. Oh, God, he has answered that question, haven't I? So stay out of game, get us right. Do you see house prices dropping since the 90-day rule? Okay. I'll be honest. Obviously, the beginning of this year, when the new Brexit thing come into force, a lot of speculation in papers saying there's a mass exodus of people. I'm on about the people that are not resident, who've been living here under radar, and I think now's the time when they start to actually not evacuate, but they start to say you've got to leave the country now because you're not allowed to stay anymore. But house prices, to be quite honest, I think ever since the COVID kicked off, which has been 2 years now, house prices are still. They said the market would crash and the property, because there's loads of properties here in Spain. It's not like the UK. UK, they're always short of property. So the price of property in the UK is always going to go up, which is fantastic for some people, not fantastic for others. But we're here in Spain. There's so many, and they're still building, which amazes me. They're still building property. Obviously, there are some amazing bargains still out there, but I haven't noticed any prices dropping, and I can't see. Maybe now. Well, I don't know. No, I can't say that because I know it's Belladorm. There was a few. increase in the COVID a couple of weeks ago. The papers were loving it, saying, you know, oh, that's it, there's to be another lockdown. But it didn't happen. And the mayor was fighting the Valencian government. And now it sounds like the Valencian government on about they want to extend the 90-day rule in the Valencia region, which is interesting. And I just caught a clip today, and I think somebody's put that up in the post as well. So that's interesting to know. But as far as I've seen, house prices haven't dropped. And I was listening to a guy down near Malaga Way saying there's a bit of a shortage on property, especially property that's been on the market for a while. That's all been snapped up and new builds. I would still say be wary about buying new builds myself, even though there's supposed to be new rules in now from the banks and that, some sort of guarantee. I would still be a bit wary of that, but that's your own preference. So I could say, I think it could be Weasley. Anyway, that was question 5 out of the way. Number 6 from the captain. I think I've seen the captains in the house somewhere. I did see it. I'm sure I did. John's in the house. Nice to see you, John. Well, top man. The captain. What about COVID infections in Spain? Is it increasing or under control? Is there more talk about lockdowns in Spain? So we just touched that subject slightly then. At the moment, I think Spain's doing really well with the COVID. I've been done twice now. It sounds like I might get a booster later on. At the moment, they're doing the 70-year-olds, anybody over the age of 70, obviously all got some sort of health problem, because they're doing the booster and the flu jab as well at the same time. Somebody, I think Stuart, if he's in the house as well. And I know Bonnie, who went yesterday, she went into the room and they did one arm and did the other at the same time. All very well organised, I hear. From what I can hear, it seems to be pretty well under control here in Spain. A week ago or so, there was a bit of a hoo-ha in the papers that there was a huge surge in increases in Benidorm, and I think the mayor was trying to fight the Valencian, because each region's got its own little government. That's what I can say. Anyway, they did want to bring in some sort of control, and he said no, they're still going to stay open. And since then, the drop is dropped, which is good. Obviously, COVID's still going to be here. There's nothing we can do about that. But I think the thing was, big places, hotels and businesses are struggling, and the last thing they need is some panic. And it's all to do with numbers. Anyway, thankfully, as far as I can see, it's not out of control in Spain. They are seem to be doing quite well. I heard no talk about any further restrictions. We still got some restrictions, but nothing like it has been. And it's a lot better than the first year, obviously, when we couldn't go out at all. So things are getting better. I'm seeing people dancing now at long last, which is good to see. We've all got to move on with it. But yeah, I think things do seem to be under control. It's still a bit of a nightmare for travel. I noticed I'm off next year traveling. I'm not going to tell you where yet, but I am. So yeah, things are pretty good, I must say, Captain. So I read something down here about that. There was an increase in Benidorm a few weeks ago with the increases in tourists half term. That has dropped again. And as far as I know, there's no new restrictions or lockdowns. The over 70s are getting a third injection, which you can apply for depending on what jab you've had. So I've just written it down and I've just told you again. So things are improving here at long last. Question 7 from Mandy. it wasn't really a question really, but she did. I thought it was something worth mentioning. Can you use a UK disabled sign sticker in Spain? Now, obviously, before the Brexit, you could come over from the UK with your your disabled sign, stick it in the front of your car, and you could park obviously in disabled bays with no problem. Well, apparently that's all stopped thanks to Brexit. Since September 2021, the UK Gov site has declared that UK disability parking badges are no longer recognised or valid anywhere in Spain. Now, I don't know about the rest of Europe, but in Spain, they're not valid anymore. So if you think by sticking in your disabled sticker, a UK one, it'll get done by the fuzz. So another thing that obviously, if you've got a disability and you're coming over to Spain, something you're going to have to chat to your doctor about. I'd imagine it's pretty a simple procedure, especially if you've got. I don't know how you would get a disabled sticker yourself, but no doubt it's some filling a form in or something. But yeah, just that, which I thought was a good one, Mandy, because obviously a lot of people have probably got a disability badge in their car, and obviously thinking they've got no problem. But obviously, as from now, and we're obviously talking about also UK cars here in Spain. If they got a GB sticker, you get done. You got to have a UK sticker now on the back of your car. What difference does it really make, GB? But apparently, you've got to have a UK sticker. Yet again, it's all coming from the UK, the Gov UK site. It's not what Spain's saying. Spain's obviously just going by what the rules that the government was saying. But yeah, so disability. Now, I should have one of those. I haven't got one. Right, number 8. Now, Yogi, I think not. Yeah, in a week's time, I will be actually seeing the man himself. I will be seeing Yogi in a week's time, so I'm looking forward to it, Yogi. Yogi asked me, does Spain operate contactless or Apple Pay for retail transactions? Now, what he's on about, obviously, there's a lot of places now where you can use your digital watch or your card or something, and you just contactless. And I know you can do it because I know Steve and Mandy. I've seen Steve do it with his watch. You can pay for things by just clamping up against it. I just checked on the internet about it, and the only thing I could find was on the Apple Pay. You might need to enter your PIN number when you purchase anything over €20 or €50 if you're using your MasterCard. That's the only thing I could see. But I know there are, obviously, because we've got Apple here for a start, and I presume most of I'm not that rich. I ain't got things like fancy watches all dangling off your arm, but I haven't got that sort of thing. I've never used it. I'm a cash man myself. I prefer to pay cash if I can, but if I can't, I'll pay by card. But yeah, apparently there are places here in Spain. Spain's pretty advanced. Obviously there'll be some places, especially where we are, this part of Spain, especially the Mazarron area, because it's a farming community. It's not like the likes of Benidorm or the big cities and that. It's quite local out here. So obviously I would imagine not the bars and that. I know some of the bars won't even take card. You still have to pay cash. So just be aware of that. So how are we doing on the comments here? Most of everybody's sort of saying what wonderful weather they got back in the UK. Which is good to see, because it's been a bit chilly here. I'll tell you one thing, just to waste a bit of time, is the sunsets at the moment have been fantastic. And I believe this evening, not here so much, but on the coast, I've been getting some fantastic lightning storms over the sea. I don't think there's any storm coming in, but there's obviously a bit of rain coming in from somewhere. And so at the moment, we're getting these fantastic sunsets, nice red sky, which is good. And and there's a bit of lightning going on at the moment. We get some really amazing lightning storms, but tonight I'm just going to go upstairs, watch the telly and off the bed. I'm not recording anything. Got enough of it now. But yeah. Well, the 9th question is from Yogi again. And I've got to thank him very much for the questions. I didn't get a lot of questions this week, really. Where can you find responsible priced petrol or diesel in the Campasol or Mazarron area? Now, what I forgot to do tonight, for some reason, is put some pictures up. So, anyway, I'm going to show you the petrol station on A, on B, I should say. This is, I mean, to me, I'm not really fussed about petrol. I mean, I use diesel. I'm not really eco-friendly because I'm too old for that now. I use diesel. I don't know. To be honest, you know what? I just go to the petrol station. I give them €30. Whatever's in the tank is good by me. It sometimes it can last me a week. Sometimes it can last me a couple of weeks. But I do know that there's actually a place. I'll just go back to the comments. No, I won't, because I've got some things to show you. I missed you tonight. Yeah, there's a place down in the town of Mazarron, near Decklids. It's another sort of car mechanics place. And next to Decklids, there's a garage there. And the lady, she fills your car up for like the old days. She comes out of a satchel. You say to her €20 or whatever the price is. Apparently the price is pretty cheap there. I haven't got a clue what on prices. I can remember paying it in pounds for the gallon. And they're supposed to be one of the cheapest in the area. To me, I just don't see the point of traveling around looking to save a couple of cents myself. But some people do. But either that one's most reasonable. You just tell her €20. She fills it up for you, like the old days. Keeps her in a job. And you just pay the money. And yeah, you get a good bargain. So I don't even know the name of the garage. All I can say, there's only garage next to Decklids. And if you don't know what all about Decklids, you've got to come here and find out yourself. So hopefully that's answered that question. Anyway, before I go back to the questions and comments, I'll just put up a picture here because I did mention the Day of the Dead, even though Monday, even though most people call it the Day of the Dead, it was All Saints Day, but this is the day, this is what the graves look like. They're like little buildings there, and you find they got little plaques, and I suppose they're like little compartments, and in there will be the ashes. But yeah, that's what they tend to do, to look after, clean them up, and put nice flowers outside them. And I'll just show you the picture of the diner, which I should have put up before. That's shutting down this Sunday for good, unfortunately. I just thought I'd mention that. And I met these two. Now, these two are Graham and June. They come over last week, I believe. They bought a place on A. They're great supporters of the channel, which is good. I can get my funds in there. Yes, I can. I've got second one in the house. It's even better. Anyway, Graham and June, they're going to come out of me on the Campasol Explorers on Sunday, which will be amazing. I look forward to seeing you guys. I've got a horrible feeling they haven't got internet yet because they've only just moved in and just sorting things out. So I've done all that now. What I should have shown you before, but you know what it's like. So going back to, I'm just going to have a quick look in the comments. I've got one more question. It's 1:15, so I've got to drag that out a bit. And Wash Parks, it's called, Sean. Wash Parks. What's called Wash Parks? Oh, I see it. Yeah, sorry. I know it now. Yeah, at the garage, it's also, I don't know what it is here in Spain, because here in Spain, you're not allowed to clean your car out in the street. You're not allowed to clean your car in your carport officially. I know I've seen people do it, but you're not allowed to clean out your car in the street. And it doesn't cost much, to be honest. I think you can have a proper car wash. Yeah, I suppose that's about €5 or €7. But we got these jet things at the one on campus, so and they call them park washes, very posh name, isn't it? Wash park, as you say, and the Spanish do love it. I've noticed on Sundays it seems to be like a picnic thing. The family go down, they clean the car. Yeah. So it's called at the Wash Park next to Deck Lids, right? So what else we got here? John was talking about the Day of the Dead. They do like having parties, letting off the old bangers. Now, obviously, tomorrow's November the 5th. Spain don't obviously do bonfire night because it's not really their thing, because it's all about Guy Fawkes, isn't it? But obviously the kids let off bangers and things like that. And I know I usually on campus Old B on the big dirt car park, they put a display up. Now, obviously, my little dog Bonnie hates it. She's so frightened of the noises. Now, I did notice tonight, one of my aunties back in the UK was saying that the local radio station's actually putting on soothing music for the doggies and cats that are frightened of the fireworks, because poor old Bonnie, she hates it. I mean, last year we took her out thinking we can get away with it. We took her out all along the coast in the car. We could see some fireworks going off, and we gets back after midnight thinking we missed it all, and we didn't miss it all. So poor old doggy. But thankfully here we might get some on Saturday, and that'll be it. Whereas obviously other places have gone through months, don't they? So I'm getting like old grump now, aren't I? Anyway, the last question is by Steve. Now, Steve thought I might not answer this one, but I managed to catch it tonight. Typed it all up. Now, Steve's asking, I presume a Spanish bank account is a must for residency. It's also a must, to be honest, for a non-resident. But what is the best way to avoid some of the extortionate bank charges they levy? Is it best to have one state pension paid into a British bank, or have it paid directly into the Spanish account? And would they charge you for the privilege? Good question. Obviously, this is another thing I looked up on the internet as well. And I know that Steve and Mandy, because I'm with CASA and they're with CASA. Now, I do pay a quarterly charge. I think, if I'm right, it's about €34 a quarter to cover, as they call, transactions and all that rubbish. It is a bit of a rip-off. But then, saying that, years ago in the UK, I used to pay bank charges. It was just something they could make money on. So I'm just looking at the comments then. But what Steve and Mandy done, they took out a house insurance through the bank, and you can. I was surprised what you can do through the bank. You can actually buy a television. You can buy a car through the bank. Obviously, I suppose in a sense it's a bit like a bank loan. But I know with the house insurance now, I'm not too sure if that's still ongoing. But apparently, if you take out a house insurance through the bank, you don't have to pay any quarterly charges. And they worked it out that they had a better deal doing it that way than not taking house insurance out of them. Obviously, if you go online, you can buy a house insurance cheaper. But they worked out paying the quarterly charge and the insurance, it worked out cheaper. So that's something you could think about, Steve. It's always worth chatting with the bank manager. Obviously, if you're thinking about talking to a bank, what I will say is you've got to be careful, guys. Before the Brexit, I thought we've stopped talking about the Brexit, but unfortunately, at the moment, it keeps cropping up. But with the Brexit, before the Brexit, you could pay your UK state pension straight into your bank account, and yes, it used to be free. You did, you used to get no bank charges. Well, that's changed now, unfortunately, because your UK bank your UK pension comes through American bank, which is outside the EU, and anything that's outside the EU, you have to pay a bank charge. Now I know beginning of the year, especially Currencies Direct was one of them. Even though they got a place because they're part of Barclays, at the end of the day, they got a place in Spain, but Casa didn't believe them. So every time I transfer my money into their bank account, they charge me, I don't know, 20 euros or something like that. But Currencies Direct give me that money back, which is good of them. And then it was all resolved by about Easter time. So that's another thing to be wary of, guys, especially money transfer sites. Now, a lot of them, you don't pay any charges, but if you especially got a UK-based one or whatever, just be wary of that as well, because the Spanish bank will charge you if they think it's not in the EU. So something else to be a bit more wary of. How we doing? We got 10 minutes in the house, I think. Let's have a look at the time. I know it's beyond my head. Anyway, I did change the clock. Just in case. Oh, yeah. And just in case you haven't noticed a deliberate mistake, which is, there it is. If you've seen it, because I'm so poor, I don't know why it's these frigging companies that do these letter sets. They don't give you enough letters. So I've had to put an A upside down as a V. I've got plenty of ones and I's, but they only given me one V. So I've had to use an A. But I know somebody noticed it the other week, and I was surprised I didn't get many comments about behind my ear roll. Yeah. So I've got a couple of things here. Keb's on about my account charges. I didn't think you paid bank charges in the UK. But anyway, paint about Sandra, that's no good, because when I want to use the A again, which will probably be in January, sorry, I should say, January, I'm going to need to turn it upside the other way then, because they've only given me a couple of ways, I believe. Anyway, if anybody's got any spare fees, that would be fantastic. Because I've got a couple more weeks of that, and unfortunately. Anyway, I'll just have a quick through. So Mike and Yvonne was saying they pay 40 euros a quarter at the sell there. See for non-res. I don't know if it makes any difference if you're a resident or non-resident with a bank. I mean, I put in. I mean, this is my own personal opinion. I don't like putting a lot of money in my Spanish bank account. I think ever since I've been here, I've seen two banks just disappear completely. Now, Casa joined forces with Banker, so that the one big massive bank now. Have I benefited from that? Probably I haven't, but to me personally, I don't like keeping money in a Spanish bank account. I've still got a UK bank account. I keep the money in there, and when I need it, I just transfer it over. Now, a lot of people, I believe, put all their money in their Spanish bank account, and I expect there are some accounts where they can get it free. I don't know any. So you noticed it, and Sandra. But yeah. So anyway, let's have a quick look at the old comments here. So we're talking about the upside down V at the moment. So I've finished all the questions tonight, which is I had 10 questions tonight. And what I forgot to do, as always, is put up this. I should have put it up at the blooming beginning, because I'm going to have nothing for next week. So guys, if you got 5 minutes to give me a load of questions for next week, that would be fantastic. I did see a few questions in tonight, and what I do, I'm just going to run back through my loads of questions. I've got 69 in the house. Most appreciate that, guys. Don't forget, give it the old thumbs, whatever. What we got here? We got Femi. We would say one Femi, the other one on the Facebook. He's a top man. We got Dave, and yeah, we've got John, we've got Terry, Maria, and Dave. We got Michael, Bruce. We got Toasties, Van Build, top man. He's still there. Andy, I know Andy's there. Anyway, talking about that, next Tuesday, if I can see it, no. Hang on. Can I do it? Can I? Have I got time to put it up? That's what I want to ask. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm gibbering to myself now. Now on Tuesday, I do the live interview. Not live interview. I'm doing interviews. I'm just trying to find it now. Where is it? Oh God, here it is. Right. Yeah, I did the live interviews. Now I've done Mike and Yvonne. That went pretty well, I thought. I've done Jan and Paul, which went pretty well as well, even though we had a few problems with the microphone then. And then we got this family, which is Katie, Andy, God, and the two kids. The other one's not there because the other one's asleep. And the young lady there, her name's what you talk to. What's that thing you talk to on Google? He's gonna kill me. Oh God. I know Mandy and Steve, they got one of these things when you come in the room. They say something, they don't say hello Google, they say hello, there's a name. Anyway, these two are going to be on Tuesday. Now, they live off grid, which, to be quite honest, is amazing. Now, they made me feel so old. They're in the 30s. They got two kids. They come over to Spain with hardly any money, but they've worked hard. They've got their own, I would class as their own farm. I had a fantastic, it's a long video as well. I just couldn't stop them talking, but it was so amazing because they've got no electricity. They've got solar power, which is amazing. And I think a couple of years ago, they had a bad gutter fire and it wiped out all their livestock that they had there, all their veg, because Katie obviously has got a day job, but poor Andy, he does all the work on the farm. He does all the veg, and then on the weekend, both Katie and Andy go out delivering. Anyway, it's all to be explained in the video on Tuesday. Please watch it, guys. I mean, I've got to give these guys the big thumbs up because they're a young couple, and they do admit times do get hard. It's not all about laying out in the sun and the fantastic life. There's a few times where Andy said he's nearly had enough and wanted to go back, but they've kept at it. They're such a fantastic family. I was really knocked out. I think I spent 2 or 3 hours with them. I was really amazed. And I hope you guys enjoy that video Tuesday coming. I'm just going to go back to the comments. Why can't I get the comments up? Oh, here they are. Anyway, let's just go back to the comments. So what we got here? That's it. I've just seen it. Alexa. Andy, if he's still there, he's gonna kill me for forgetting her or getting her name wrong. Alexa, yeah. And I forget they got a young boy about 2 years old. I can't remember his name. I'm useless at names, but yeah, it's amazing. That's it. The Spanish Homestead. Please check out their channel, guys. The YouTube channel. Trixie's just come in. So I'll answer that next week, Trixie. I don't know what a TTFN is. Is that one of those new things as well? Yeah. So I think I'm coming up to my time now. I can't see the frigging time on the on the clock now. Oh, I'm nearly there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show, guys. I always enjoy doing these live shows, which is the main thing. I don't know what's going to happen. Thankfully, my mouse has made it through the hour, which is good. Just like I said, right at about 5 minutes before it was coming on, it said it was low on power. I thought, oh God, that's all I need. Anyway, thank you. I just got Explorer Mercia. Yeah, I'll do that one as well. I know who that person is. Yeah, it's that time, guys. It's the time to stick on that. Say, Alexa, turn on the lights. Anyway, thank you much, guys, for being on tonight. Most appreciated as always. I'll catch you next Thursday, 9:30 for another hour. Hopefully, I've got a little more questions to answer. Hasta Luegas, as we say here in sunny Dorset, Spain. Anyway, thank you much, guys. I'll catch you next week. I'm off. I'm trying to find the cut off. Here it is, and I don't want to put on the wrong one.